Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. We're going to talk a little bit about how to get publicity for you and your business. We're going to spend some time with Miriam Silveberg. And Miriam works in the PR field with her unique boutique firm. And how are you today?
Very well, thank you.
By the way, listen, early on, do you have a website that we can refer people to?
No, I don't, but I'm all over the Internet, so
Awesome.
You can just Google me.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll do just that. Talk a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, I started out actually as a concierge, but not at a hotel, at a very large multinational trading company. And we had offices in every major city around the world. New York was the headquarters. And everybody came to New York. I got to know everybody in the city. And people would ask me for advice. I opened in a nightclub, nobody's coming, what do I do? Or I wrote a book, nobody's buying it, what do I do? And I give them advice. And finally I said to myself, I can make money at this. So I quit my job and I went into business for myself.
And when was this?
Oh, this was about 30 years ago.
Oh, wow. So it's not a new firm, that's for sure.
No.
And talk about, kind of give us an overview of the type of companies you have as clients.
I say that I deal with anything that appeals to a woman's comfort, vanity, and convenience. So I work with fashion retailers, fashion designers, certain doctors in certain specialties like plastic surgery, dermatology. I work with a gastroenterologist. I work with authors, New York City Ballet, Light Opera Company of Manhattan. I work with many, many top restaurants.
So you work for gastroenterologists and restaurants. That's, there seems like there's either a conflict of interest or or synergy there. I'm not sure.
No.
Talk a lot about free publicity. What can businesses do in order to get themselves found on the map that aren't overly expensive?
Well, for instance, if you're a restaurant, if you own a restaurant, you have changes in the menu during the year. What you do is you contact the food editor of one of the newspapers, telling them that you've got something unusual on the menu now, or it's an unusual way of preparing something, and would he like to do a story on it?
Mm-hmm.
Not really a review, but a story on how you, for instance, how you got this very unusual ingredient.
Right, because, I think media outlets, I can't tell you, this blows my mind how many emails I get from people who say, hey, I would like you to do an interview with me because we would like that media attention. And let me tell you, when you ask them to do a review of your restaurant, you're essentially saying the same thing. You need to bring something unique in order to have a dialogue about it, right?
You've got to give people a hook.
Yep.
So the hook is, in this case, a new menu or something different on the menu, a different way of preparing something that they can say is a news story.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess part of your strategy would be watch the news, read the news daily, and see what your business ties into news stories.
Definitely. So often I read the newspaper and I jump up periodically to make notes to myself, to call people, because I realize I can tie in with something going on in the news.
Yeah. By the way, I appreciate you proving that you are in New York by the background noise. Let me ask you, so, I think about the smaller entrepreneur who's trying to make things happen and get things going. Where does he or she begin, when it comes to trying to begin this engagement? And PR firms aren't cheap, so what would you suggest they do?
Well, for instance, if you're opening a dress shop, you can tie in with other businesses in the neighborhood. For instance, businesses that will complement you but not compete. For instance, going to a hairdresser in the neighborhood and saying people who come in will get a discount. People who come into the hairdresser will get a discount to your dress shop. People who go to the dress shop will get a discount at the hairdresser.
Oh, I like that. That's a very, very affordable way to create strategic partnerships.
Yes, yes. And you complement each other, but you're not competing.
Yeah. I could even envision creating a map of all the stores that participate.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I ought to go into this business. Hey. But that's
you have no idea of the frustration.
Yeah. Oh, no, I do have the idea of the frustration because I've worked a lot with PR firms over the years. So I can only imagine. This is a very challenging field, very challenging. Well, I appreciate the conversation. I think it's interesting and very, very helpful. How would you suggest people reach out to you to get more information besides putting in your name in online? Miriam Silveberg, that's Miriam Silveberg. You put it in Google, you're going to get a lot. I would put in that with PR, and you'll get lots of information.
Yes,
but what else?
If you want to contact me directly, I'll give you my email address.
Sure.
Silveberg, Silveberg, M as in Miriam, at Mind, MIND, Spring, SPRING.com.
Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.